Yo, it's good. It's your man, 100 grand Russ with the Rock Never Stops. Bradley Beal was traded from the Washington Wizards to the Phoenix Suns for a bucket of popcorn, some jujubes, some red vines, and a Slurpee. This is not supposed to happen. He's an all-star in his prime who's averaged between 25 to 30 points a game. He is probably one of the more dynamic playmakers, scorers at the guard position in the NBA. You know, I wanted to do this video because I was like, it's funny how years ago, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's gotten real quiet about these small market teams complaining about a lack of parity, talent, competitive balance, right? It's gotten real quiet. The Milwaukee Bucks won a championship. Phoenix Suns were in the finals. You have the Denver Nuggets just won a championship. The Miami Heat were back in the finals. You've got small market teams all around who have all-star level players, multiple all-star level players, and can't seem to get out of their own way. Can't seem to figure out how to win. And yet, when one of those teams, the Washington Wizards, gets a talent of this caliber, they can't seem to put the team around him to win. And this is something that kind of frustrates me because it begins to really put a knock on the NBA narrative about teams actually trying to win. Are they? You know, it was funny because the Los Angeles Clippers, past team owner, I'm not even going to say his name. He's not even worth saying. Fortunately, they have a really good current team governor. But the past one, we all know he was a racist dude. Made comments about Magic Johnson and black people and all this stuff, right? Not a good guy. But one of the things that was very interesting is that it came out that he would lose on purpose because he knew that he can use the losses as a tax write-off for his other businesses. And as a result, he would consistently unload really good players. He would trade them away for nothing. He would not re-sign guys who the team needed. He wouldn't draft well. And he had no vested interest in actually winning. And he kept that team. I believe he had it for over 15 to 20 years. And the NBA did nothing. You know, I appreciate in Europe, and I think around most of the world, professional soccer, they have different league divisions. And when your team sucks, and it's at the bottom, it gets relegated to a lower division. And the best team in the lower division moves on up. And this ensures that there's a real competitive balance because depending upon the league that you're in, you're going to have different television deals. You have different advertisement benefits. You're going to have more value for your franchise. And so there is actually a monetary business incentive to remain competitive, to ensure you are not the worst, to ensure you do not get relegated into a position that actually disadvantages your business. Well, here's the thing. In the NBA, there is no such thing. You can lose and lose and lose and lose. And for all business intensive purposes, you can still do fairly well. You still, for a lot of these teams, they own the real estate. They have their businesses that support. They have their local television contracts and the national television contracts that they share because they share that revenue. So even if your team sucks, the Washington Wizards, you still get paid from what the Los Angeles Lakers make and the New York Knicks and everyone else. But here's the thing. if it comes down to that you see you're unable to win with a good player, and it's time to trade him away, what fans are expecting is that you are trying to get as much as you can for that asset. Now, I'm not going to say it was nepotism, though it is very interesting that the son of one of the, I believe it's one of the CEOs or execs for the Washington Wizards, is in the front office for the Phoenix Suns. I'm not going to say it was nepotism, but I wouldn't be mad if you said it. Because to trade him away for a bucket of popcorn and some jujubes, red vines, junior mints, and a Slurpee, when you could have easily gotten multiple assets, and I mean young players who are talented, who just need some more playing time, who could have immediately come to your team and gave you 20 points a game. You could have got a Jordan Poole and Jonathan Kuminga. Shoot, you could have got a Tyler Hero. You maybe could have gotten a Jaylen Brown. Who knows? You could have gotten many different options. R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin. You had options. And instead, you walked away with a bucket of popcorn, some red vines, junior mints, and a Slurpee. This, I don't know if maybe they had a back office deal with Bradley Beal, and he's like, look, if I sign this Supermax and stay here, I don't want to stay here, but I'll sign. But if we're not winning and I want to go, you got to just send me to wherever I want to go, and it's not about getting assets back. If that's the case, hey, you know what? So be it. That was a part of you trying to compete, to keep your best player there, to appease to him and what he was wanting so that he would stay, to extend your window for a chance to win. And you didn't do it. You weren't able to win. You weren't even able to get him into the play-in or the playoffs. The team around him wasn't even able to compete with the Atlanta Hawks, Toronto Raptors, Chicago Bulls. It was paltry at best, middling, unexciting. And so he asked to leave. And now you have to tell your fans why you're holding this bucket full of popcorn, some red vines, jujubes, and a Slurpee when they used to have an all-star. They used to have a team leader, a captain, a guy who had spent the entirety of his career there, that everyone knew, probably loved, cared for, who was invested in the community. Everyone says by all reports, he was fully invested in that community. And now he's gone. Now on Phoenix's side, people are like, I don't know if it's going to make a difference. You're tripping. It's going to make one hell of a difference. You don't think last year in the playoffs, if they had Bradley Beal, that wasn't going 7 games against the eventual NBA championship, Denver Nuggets? You don't think having one more guy who's an elite level athlete, playmaker, scorer, and shooter on that team, even if you take away Chris Paul and Landry Shamet, are you telling me that wasn't going 7? Oh, it was. Imagine if you put Bradley Beal on that Miami Heat team. It was going 7. You see, when you add an all-star to 2 other all-stars, you now have what they have called a super team. And this team has the ability to overwhelm most teams with their talent. You see, there's plenty of guys who can play roles. There's plenty of guys who can be your 3 and D, who can do a basic skill, a basic contribution. Think about the Miami Heat culture. That's what they centered theirs around. Hey, we get guys in who've been overlooked, and we ask you to play a role. Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, play this role at your maximum, and we are going to win collectively. You can find other Gabe Vincent level players. You can grab you a Patrick Beverly. You can grab you guys to play off the bench and give you a little bit of scoring. like a Kendrick Nunn, right? Grab you a guy who needs an opportunity to prove himself because he had a down year last season. There are plenty of guys who are going to want to jump on that team for an opportunity to win a championship, to get primetime exposure on national television. Guys like Torrey Craig, right, who are already on the team. Bismack Biyombo was already there playing behind DeAndre Ayton. This team is going to be in the playoffs. This team is going to be a favorite to come out of the West. This team is going to have a chance to win a championship. And you gave away that final piece for a bucket of popcorn, some jujubes, red vines, and a Slurpee. It is what it is. But don't come crying to me anymore when your team still sucks, Washington Wizards. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm going to holler at y'all next time. Peace.